Hey, all my wonderful friends at RCS. My name is Eli Steinley. I am part of Sheboygan County Leadership, and I'm also a business banker at Bank First. What I love about my job is that I get to work with a bunch of local businesses and really get to see what's going on in the community and get to work with a lot of wonderful people. So today I thought it'd be fun to show you guys kind of a video, since it's a Saturday, of what my morning routine looks like to get me ready for the day. So that I'm ready to tackle whatever tasks I have to do. So usually I start up, I wake up and I make my bed. That's the first kind of hurdle to get over. And I actually read a book about that and what that does to kind of set your mindset right. So after I'm done with that, I usually grog around for a good 5-10 minutes, and really my day doesn't start until I get my coffee. So I'm going to show you what I have to do to make my coffee, because I don't just put it into a coffee machine and let it do its magic. I actually use a French press and I grind my own beans. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how that process looks today. First, I have to get my beans, and what I do is I store them in an airtight container, because coffee beans have a lot of oil, and once they get exposed to air, that oil evaporates and coffee essentially loses its flavor and its health benefits. So I like to grind my own coffee in the morning, and this might get a little loud, so cover your ears. So once the coffee beans are ground, I usually heat up my water, which you can see is going on over here in this little guy. And then here's what we have as the French press. So essentially what you do is you put the coffee beans in here, coffee grounds I should say. And what you're going to do is you're going to pour the water over the top of it and just let it sit. And that's where it's really going to gain its the coffee flavor and its strength. And I usually like to let it sit in here for a good 10 to 15 minutes. But I'll speed that up for our purposes here today. So while that's sitting, I thought I would show you guys how another morning task I do, and that's actually I make my own juice in the morning, because I like to drink juice on an empty stomach because it really nourishes you at a cellular level. So in advance of this, I cut up the fruit to save a little bit of time. And you can see on the agenda today is we have beets, we've got grapefruit, we've got celery, we've got apples, and we've got carrots. Usually I only stick with one or two, but I just wanted to show you how cool the juicer was that I use, and just to show you how fun it is to actually juice your own juice. So get a good angle out here. So really what you have to do is this thing can essentially juice everything. You wouldn't think that there's much juice in a root vegetable like a beet, but it's pretty crazy how much juice this thing can extract. So this one might be a little bit loud as well. So these are all pre-washed. Everything's cleaned. So we'll go ahead and start getting everything juiced. And here I use this little guy to push everything down to make sure that we're getting all the vegetable that we want juiced. And you do have to push it down a little bit, because there's two little augers that you'll see in there, and I'll show you a little bit later of what's actually doing the magic in there. And you can start to see the juice come out, that deep orange color. All right, and eventually you'll start to see out of this tube, you'll see all the pulp, or all the fibers that are coming from the juice. And I'll show you what I do with those after. It's actually quite fun. So now you've seen a carrot being juiced, now we'll show you what a beet looks like. You get a really, really deep red liquid, and that one goes in a little bit easier. start to see the pulp starting to come out. And if you pick that up with your hands, that's essentially dry. That's how crazy this is. So you can start to see the color of the beet being included in the juice. It's a very, very deep red, and as you can see my hands, it starts to stain you. Alright, we got some beets in there. Now I'll throw some grapefruit. It's generally easier to juice on the juicer. So I'll leave all the rest of this, these fruits here, and I'll do this later, but just kind of wanted to show you how the juicer worked, and here we'll actually take a look at what the inside of the juicer looks like to give you guys an idea of what's actually going on in here. So, there's these two little stainless steel augers, you can see, and these two things just kind of rotate. You can see them just extracting all that juice and just kind of crushing all the good stuff that's getting put in there, and the outcome is you get this really deep colored liquid that's nourishing you at a cellular level. So I do this every morning, and it really gives my body what it needs to kind of tackle the day, along with the coffee. So now I think the coffee is ready. We'll show you what the process. So you can see my hands are stained from that beet. So we'll show you what the process for the coffee is now. I'll go over here and so we have the French press. Got the Wisconsin Badger coffee mug, that's a necessity. So really all that you're doing is you're just crushing down all the coffee grinds to make sure that you're only getting the liquid. So you push that lever down, and the outcome, you get nice hot coffee. And as you can see when you grind your own coffee beans, you'll see a little bit of the oil set on top of the coffee, which is the good stuff. It gives it all the flavor. So what do I do with all of these excess coffee grounds, and what do I do with the pulp from the fruit that I juice? Well, what I do with it is I have my own little compost that I started, which you can see I've already has some goodies in there. So I pour the coffee grinds in here, and I take whatever pulp I have from my juicer, put it in here. And where this goes is take a little adventure outside. I have a composter outside. Put my shoes on. Here's the composter that I have. What I do is I stick all of that when that bin gets full and put it in here, if you can see that. So what that does is after 12 to 18 months, that's going to be good soil for my garden. Ooh, I'll actually show you that. So what I just actually did last weekend was I planted my garden, which might have been too early. It got a little cold over the week, but so I planted my garden. I have all sorts of vegetables, and what I do with that is once that all sprouts up, I make my juice out of it. So it's kind of the circle of life, which is pretty cool. So after all that's done, I get my day started and tackle whatever tasks I have. As I kind of said, I'm a banker. I'm not a videographer, so I hope you bared with me on this video, and you guys learned a little bit. But that's kind of my morning, and I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are able to stay close with families and friends through all of this, and I know we'll get through this here soon, but just know that everybody's thinking of you, and can't wait to see you guys soon. So take care. Bye.